the bordbia quality mark, ensuring your food is produced to the highest standards.
Foraging for mushrooms has become very popular with both home cooks and professional chefs. This is Castlecomer Discovery Park in Kilkenny, where I've come to meet Bill O'D, who takes people on foraging expeditions. Bill, when is the ideal time of the year to go looking for mushrooms?
Autumn is the best time, Neven. That's when most of the mycelium, they're fruiting and producing mushrooms. There are some spring mushrooms and some summer ones, but autumn is when most of it's going on, particularly with some of the good edibles.
And what are the ideal conditions for your mushrooms to grow? And
Well, you need a bit of moisture, and often we get very dry September, so you might notice that they drop off a bit in September, but once the rains start to come in, then in October you'll see a lot of mushrooms being produced.
and what's your favourite mushroom?
Oh, well, I mean, the porcini is a great mushroom to eat.
Yeah, they're the king of mushrooms.
As I'm sure you know as a chef.
And do we have many porcini mushrooms in Ireland?
We do, yeah. I mean, some days we'd get kilos of porcini. Yeah, they're a very tasty mushroom.
And do we have many different varieties in Ireland?
Oh yeah, I mean, on a mushroom hunt, we'd often pick 120 different varieties.
Okay, let's go and get some.
Let's go get some. Here's an interesting one, Neven. They're a Caprinus mushroom. They wouldn't be one that I'd eat because they react with alcohol. If you have alcohol 24 hours either side of eating them, it'll make you sick. It's like the antabuse that they use for people to stop them drinking.
And would there be different varieties of this one, different colours?
Yeah, there are bigger ones and smaller ones. And in fact, the same family is the shaggy inkcap, which is the white one, the bigger one you see at the side of the road sometimes. That's quite a good eater.
And what are these ones here?
They're porcelain fungus. They're quite beautiful. I have eaten them, but they're not a great eater. They're mucilaginous, which they're quite slimy, and you have to clean the slime off them if you're going to eat them. But I mean, we can do better than that today.
Okay, we'll keep going, will we?
Let's keep going.
Good man.
Well, let's see if we can get some good eaters. I know a spot down here.
There's some here.
Indeed, these are honey mushrooms. These are a good eater, not because they taste like honey, but they are the colour of honey. They're bad news for the tree, but they're good to eat.
And how would you cook them now?
Well, I mean, fry them in the pan. They're nice, you know. Also, I slice them up and I pickle them and put them in olive oil.
Beautiful.
They keep for quite a while, yeah.
If I was to go out and pick mushrooms, how would I know which ones are good to eat?
You have to learn, Neven. There's no easy way, and there's no identification service, unfortunately, in Ireland. We help with identification through Twitter, @mushroomstuff on Twitter. If you tweet us photographs of the mushroom, we'll help identify, you know, what it is. It's important that you never eat a mushroom unless it's identified as safe to do so by an expert, because some of them are very poisonous.
Tell me about the foraging courses you do.
Well, we do courses throughout Ireland. We do some in Wicklow, Kilruddery. We also do some abroad, as far away as Turkey for morels, Sardinia, different parts of Spain. We were in Lithuania this year. Usually it's all about, you know, food and fun and the local culture. And often in these countries there is a culture of collecting mushrooms in season. And often there are festivals around mushroom foraging.
All for the love of the mushroom.
Indeed.
I'm very impressed. You know, in such a short space to see the variety of mushrooms here, but to see your attention to detail, your eye, you know what's edible, what's not. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Neven.
Great to see you.
Great, you're welcome.
County Longford isn't part of a well-trodden tourist trail, but there are plenty of gems to discover and plenty of good food to eat in the county. And you can do both at Viewmont House. The head chef is Gary O'Hanlon, a really talented and inspiring cook. I always enjoy meeting chefs in their own kitchens because I learned so much from them, and I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm going to do a wee venison dish today, one that's new to our menu. And basically I'm using a little Finnebrook venison, okay? We're using the deboned saddle, a little loin. We're going to do it with a little vinaigrette. I have a little spiced savoury crumb that's going to go on it, and then we're going to finish with a little prune and beetroot puree. So I suppose we're going to kick off with the vinaigrette. Basically, we want a fused oil, okay? We have here a little star anise, black peppercorns, organic coriander, and some cumin.
So you want me to toast this
first? Yeah, so we're going to start with that, yeah. We'll get you to knock that on, and we'll start with that.
Just put them all
Get
in?
it all in together. So once there's a light little smoke on that, and then with a couple of bay leaves, fresh bay leaves.
Lovely.
And dried oregano. See now you just hear the little coriander starting to crack and it's starting to pop and the smoke is coming up, and that's pretty much us then. So we can knock that off. In with 50% rapeseed oil and then a little Finca Tres Fonts olive oil. We just leave that. We'll put it in the Thermomix for maybe 50 seconds. Blend it really fine. And we're left then just with this here, okay? That one there has been sitting about 2 weeks now, okay? So it's getting that little bit stronger.
Lovely.
So I have a little bit of garlic here.
Yeah.
I'll get you maybe to microplane.
Yeah, the garlic's just peeled.
Yeah, I have a sort of a larger mesh here, Neven, really, because I want a little bit of that sediment to come through the strainer, all right? So
your garlic.
In with the garlic. Anytime we're going to use vinegars, you obviously counterattack with a tiny little bit of sweetener.
Yeah.
Instead of sugar, just using a little bit of Irish honey. And then some raspberry vinegar. Venice, I suppose, takes really well the fruity flavours.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, sherry vinegar then. So equal parts, like any dressing or any vinaigrette, you're looking at 1 part of the vinegar, 3 parts oil. Okay. And then it's just generally a little emulsion. So that's us then set aside. We have one here that I made. We're going to leave it in a little bottle already. We'll roll on into the venison then, okay? We have a little bit of a savoury crumb. What we have here, okay, is going to be our seasoner in the crumb, okay? So we have 50% red onion, 50% white onion. So we're going to add a wee bit of that there to this, okay? And that's basically our seasoner. This, weirdly enough, is what a Rice Krispie looks like before it becomes a Rice Krispie. So in essence, this is overcooked long grain rice. We have some grated Parmesan cheese, aged Parmesan, a little pan of toasted oats as well, the panko, and celeriac, and there you have it. That's all put into a food processor and blended, yeah. So I'll get you to give that a wee mix up for me, okay? And then I'm just going to season all over our venison loin with a little bit of fine sea salt. So I'll get you to press that in, Neven, okay? So get a pan on and get a nice bit of heat, just a wee bit of rapeseed oil. So we just leave that for a few seconds. Up high all the time and working fast, Neven, yeah.
So you're sealing it in, isn't that what you're doing?
Sealing it in, yeah.
Look at that beautiful golden brown colour. And you got to serve this pink, don't you?
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. So now, Neven, we've a little bit of butter that we made ourselves. I'll let you maybe baste that over it then, okay?
I will, yeah.
Just really want to get a couple of little spoons over each of it. And that's us then. We'll just get them on a wee flat and we're ready to go. So I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. You'll knock it in there. 170 for 3 minutes.
Okay, Gary.
Neven, so next thing we're going to work on is our prune and beetroot puree. So drop them into the pot. We're going to make a broccoli garni here.
Yeah.
Some fresh bay leaf, a couple of star anise, black peppercorns, and 1 cinnamon stick. Obviously the muslin cloth is going to give us the flavour. It's all going to come through that into it.
Okay, that's it ready, Gary.
All right. So then a little bit of cognac, okay? And obviously, there we go. And then in with a glass of wine as well. I tend to use a Merlot, a nice leaf flavoured Merlot. And then that's a juice of about 10 beets, okay? So I'm just going to use a little bit less than half of that.
So brandy, red wine, you have your beetroot
and
juice.
Fresh beetroot juice, yeah. So you can drop in your broccoli garni.
Lovely.
And I'm going to get you to scrape out them, and we'll put the whole pod in as well as the vanilla bean.
The seeds.
Yeah, drop it in, that's it. After about 35 minutes then, we'll just lift out the vanilla pods, we'll lift out the broccoli garni into a Thermomix again, and we blend it. There's one we made here. I use it at room temperature. You want to make that definitely a day ahead of time, yeah. The lovely, it's almost like a tempered chocolate, really, you know. Really, really nice. And that's delicious. It. Okay, so we're finished with the sauce, so that you grab the venison. I think our time is up. I'm going to get our pan on.
It feels lovely and soft.
Okay, Neven, so last couple of steps now, it all gets kind of rapid from here. A little bit of pickled onion. Going to have a few petals of that. So split maybe a couple of them.
Yeah,
I'm going to start working on our girolles. Just with the girolles, a tiny little peel on the stem. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of base. And again, the fresh thyme is in there as well, Neven.
Gorgeous.
And we'll lift them straight off. So I'll get you to slice our venison now.
Okay.
Nice little thin slice, just going from one end to the other, please, Neven.
Perfect.
So I'm going to go with our prune and beetroot puree. A few flowers here now as well. Nasturtium leaves, micro watercress as well that we have. So probably just drop a few in and around the plate here and there. All from the Viewmount Gardens, and as I say, all edible. And then obviously our pickled pearl onion. I'll drop these in. A little bit of sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes from the garden. A little thin mandolin into lemon water. As you peel them, let them drop into lemon water. About 140 degrees for about 4 or 5 minutes. Tiny little bit of fine sea salt just to finish them as they come out. Our lovely savoury coated venison from Finnebrook comes in there. Our vinaigrette right over this, and then around our plate.
Your beautiful girolles too, gorgeous. That's a lovely portion of meat.
And that's us, an Irish country house on our plate.
Gary, I'm dying to taste this. Just give a little bit of the venison. The amount of work you put into your food is unbelievable. Oh. It's moist. I love that puree. You have sweet and sour with the onion, everything like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning dish. Gary, it's a pleasure to cook with you finally. Wish you continued success, my friend.
Thanks a million
Thanks
for
for being
coming
on the
Neven.
show.
No problem.
Next time I learn how to blow glass in County Kilkenny, I meet Philip Martin, who makes corn tortillas in Clonmel and serves them at his restaurants in Dublin. And I cook with chef Angel Periv in County Limerick. And of course I'll be doing some cooking myself on board the Shannon Princess. I hope you'll join me.
The bordbia quality mark, ensuring your food is produced to the highest standards of traceability and care for the environment.